Imagine this: 7 young women, roommates in the same dormitory, and in a single night, it turns into a silent graveyard. The police found the doors locked from the inside, no signs of blood, no weapons, and it seemed as if something unseen was dragging them to their deaths one by one. The strangest part: the 8th girl in the room was there the entire time. She watched them die in agony, yet she didn't lift a finger. Was she a friend or a demon in human skin? I'm Whitebeard Stories, and this is the story of Dormitory 113. And now, let the story begin. In the life of every student, there are places we call safe zones. The dormitory, the classroom, the cafeteria, places where we eat, sleep, and laugh, trusting that we are among friends. But on December 23rd, 1998, at Jinghai High School in Tianjin, China, that trust was shattered. What was meant to be a sanctuary became the scene of one of the most chilling and mysterious tragedies in modern Chinese history. This is not just a story of death. It is a story of silence, manipulation, and the total collapse of human empathy. It began as a standard, rigorous morning. In the strict environment of a Chinese high school, every second counts. As the morning calisthenics were about to start, the dormitory supervisors made their rounds. They immediately noticed something wrong near dormitory room 113. A foul, pungent odor was seeping into the hallway, a mix of rotting garlic and sharp industrial chemicals. Most ignored it, assuming it was a cleaning issue. When the roll call began, 7 students from room 113 were missing. It was highly unusual for 7 girls from the same dormitory to be absent simultaneously. A friend, driven by growing concern, went to the room to check on them. She knocked. Silence. She pushed the door ajar, met with oppressive darkness, and a smell so vile it was impossible to breathe. Terrified, she ran to get the supervisor. The supervisor, frustrated by what she perceived as lazy teenage rebellion, marched to the room, shouting insults and threats. When she finally flipped the light switch, the room was revealed, and the air in the building seemed to freeze. The 7 girls were not sleeping. They were dead. The room was a landscape of agony. One girl was clutching her pillow so tightly her muscles had seized. Another lay on the floor, having fallen from her bunk in a violent fit. Others were stained by the physical aftermath of a slow internal collapse. It was a scene of mass death, vomiting, incontinence, and twisted limbs. They had suffered a slow, conscious death. Police and forensic teams arrived to find the door locked from the inside. There were no signs of a struggle, no intruders, and no murder weapons. They found 8 water cups in the room. 7 had traces of a chemical residue. The 8th was clean. When analyzed, the residue was identified as an organophosphate pesticide, a lethal, high-potency chemical that attacks the nervous system. The forensic report confirmed that the victims had suffered excruciating pain. The poison blocked their nerve receptors, causing paralysis, while they remained fully conscious. They were drowning in their own body fluids, unable to move or scream as their internal organs shut down one by one. The investigation turned to the 8th girl in the room, named Sun. When police found her on the school playground, she was jogging, breathing normally, and performing her morning exercises with an eerie, calculated calmness. Under intense interrogation, Sun revealed the chilling truth. She had a partner in this plot, Lin Huan, one of the 7 victims. Lin Huan had fallen into a deep depression after a painful breakup. Paralyzed by the fear of a tuberculosis outbreak sweeping the school, Lin Huan manipulated her friends. She told them the pesticide, which Sun had purchased at a local agricultural shop 2 days earlier, was a special medicine from her doctor mother that would protect them from tuberculosis. Trusting Lin Huan completely, the girls drank the poison, thinking they were securing their future. The most disturbing detail was Sun's role. She didn't just buy the poison, she watched. For over 20 minutes, she sat in that room as her friends suffered the agonizing symptoms of organophosphate poisoning. She watched as they convulsed, as they fought for air, and as they died. She claimed she was comforting them by giving them water and wiping their brows, even though she knew they were dying. After they passed, she simply went to sleep in the same room with the 7 corpses, then woke up the next morning to eat breakfast and go to class. In the courtroom, the families of the victims screamed in agony, yet Sun remained eerily composed. Because she was a minor at the time of the crime, she was spared the death penalty and sentenced to life imprisonment. In 2013, she was released for good behavior, changed her identity, and vanished into anonymity. This tragedy remains a haunting reminder of the dangers of blind trust. It wasn't the chemical that killed those girls. It was the manipulation and the toxic environment that turned friends into victims. The tragedy of Jinghai High School was not just a crime of poison, but a crime of broken humanity. Every story leaves a mark, but some marks never fade. If you enjoyed tonight's story, subscribe, leave a like, and return for the next tale hidden in the shadows. Until next time, keep the lantern lit